My girlfriend secretly married another man but still used me for money. He's too dumb to notice. She laughed. I played along. 10 days later, she regretted it. Hey everyone, before we dive in, I have a quick favor to ask. If you enjoy content like this, please hit the subscribe button. It's free, supports the channel, and ensures you never miss out on amazing videos. Alright, let's get started. I never thought I'd be posting here, but I need to get this off my chest. The past week has been absolute hell, and I'm still trying to process everything that happened. Sorry for the long post, but there's a lot to unpack. I, 29M, have been with Vera, 27F, for 3 years. We met at a friend's barbecue, hit it off immediately, and things just clicked. She was funny, smart, and seemed genuinely interested in building a future together. We moved in together last year, splitting rent on a decent 2-bedroom apartment. Everything was great, until about 6 months ago, when things started getting weird. It started with small things. Vera began working late more often, which wasn't unusual given her job, but then she started asking to use my credit card for business expenses she'd reimburse later. She claimed her company was slow with reimbursement, and since I had a higher credit limit, it made sense to use mine. I trusted her completely, so I agreed. The first red flag I should have noticed was when she insisted on handling all our shared finances. "You're always so busy with work, baby. Let me take care of it," she'd say. Like an idiot, I agreed. The bills got paid, and everything seemed fine, even though our joint savings weren't growing as fast as they should have been. Last Tuesday, I was checking my credit card statement, something I admittedly hadn't done in a while, when I noticed several large purchases at high-end stores I'd never heard of. When I asked Vera about them, she got defensive. "Don't you trust me? I told you these are for work. Stop being so controlling." That night, while she was supposedly at a team dinner, I decided to dig deeper. I know it wasn't right to snoop, but something felt off. That's when I found it. A notification on Instagram from a mutual friend congratulating Vera on her beautiful wedding. My heart stopped. I clicked through to a profile I didn't recognize, and there it was. Vera in a white dress, beaming next to some guy named Robert. The post was dated 3 months ago. The caption read, "Finally married the love of my life. Can't wait for our future together. Just married, forever." I felt like I was going to throw up. There were dozens of photos, ceremony, reception, even their honeymoon in Cancun. The same Cancun trip Vera told me was a girl's business retreat, the trip I helped pay for. But here's where it gets even better. Yesterday, I was at our local coffee shop when I overheard Vera's voice from around the corner. She was with her friend Lori, laughing about something. I stayed quiet and listened. "God, Ethan is so stupid," Vera was saying between sips of her drink. "He actually believed I needed his credit card for business expenses. The idiot doesn't even check his statements." Lori sounded uncomfortable. "Ver, this isn't right. Ethan's a good guy." "Oh please," Vera scoffed. "He's too dumb to notice anything. Besides, Robert makes way more money, but he's so tight with it. At least Ethan's useful for something." I sat there, my coffee getting cold, as they continued talking. Vera bragged about how she was playing both of us, using my money while living the perfect wife life with Robert. Apparently, Robert has no idea I exist. She's been telling him she stays late at work when she's actually with me. I wanted to confront her right there, flip their table, and expose everything. But for the first time in my life, I stayed quiet. Let her think I'm the useful idiot for a little longer. Because now I have a plan. I've already started gathering evidence. Screenshots, bank statements, text messages. My sister Cora is letting me crash at her place while I figure out my next move. Vera keeps texting, asking why I didn't come home last night. I told her I'm on a sudden work trip. The thing that kills me isn't just the betrayal, it's how she laughed about it. How she's been playing this game, thinking she's so clever while I worked overtime to help our future. Well, she's about to learn just how dumb I really am. This is just the beginning. I'll post updates as things unfold, but let's just say Vera's perfect little double life is about to come crashing down, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. Edit, holy, this blew up. Thanks for all the support and advice. To answer some common questions, yes, I have proof of everything. No, I haven't confronted her yet. And yes, I plan to tell Robert everything. He deserves to know. But first, I need to make sure I do this right. Stay tuned. Update 1. First, thank you all for the support on my last post. It's been a wild few days, and honestly, things have gotten even more messed up than I thought possible. I'm shaking with anger as I type this, but I need to get it all out. Remember how I mentioned finding those wedding photos? Well, that was just the tip of the iceberg. After my last post, I started digging deep into everything. And holy, you guys, Vera didn't just get married behind my back. She's been playing me like a damn fiddle for months. I spent the weekend going through our shared expenses, since we had that joint account for house savings. You know what I found? She's been systematically draining money. Small amounts at first, then bigger ones. Every time she asked for help with her business investments, that money went straight into a vacation fund for her and Robert. Yeah, the same Robert she married 6 months ago. The same Robert who apparently has no clue about my existence. But here's where it gets really interesting. Last Tuesday, I got a text from Lori, Vera's best friend, asking to meet. I almost ignored it, but something told me to go. Turns out Lori's been carrying around a massive guilt trip. She couldn't take it anymore and spilled everything. According to Lori, Vera's been bragging about how she's running this perfect scam. She married Robert for his stability, but kept me around because I'm an easy mark. Her words, not mine. She literally called me her backup ATM when drinking with friends. Lori showed me screenshots of their conversations that made my blood boil. The worst part? They all sat there and laughed about it. Vera told them how I helped her pay for the honeymoon with Robert. Remember that emergency dental work she needed money for in March? Yeah, that was actually a week in Cancun with her husband. I lost it when Lori showed me a video from their wedding. Vera was literally glowing, saying her vows to Robert while wearing the necklace I gave her for our anniversary. The same day she made those vows, she texted me about how much she missed me and couldn't wait to move in together. Here's a real kick in the teeth. That girl's night last month, the one where she said she lost her purse and needed me to send her $500 ASAP. She was actually at a romantic dinner with Robert celebrating their 6-month wedding anniversary. She used my money to buy him a watch. A watch. When I confronted Vera about the wedding photos yesterday, playing dumb about knowing everything else, she fed me some BS about how they were old photos from a friend's wedding where she was a bridesmaid. She looked me straight in the eye and lied, then had the nerve to ask me to help her with another investment opportunity. The absolute kicker came this morning. I was at the cafe near her place and I overheard her and another friend, not Lori, laughing about how she's planning to really cash out soon. She's been taking screenshots of our text conversations where I agreed to invest in her business, planning to use them to convince Robert that I'm just some creepy guy harassing her if everything ever comes to light. My sister Cora came over last night after I told her everything. She's been helping me document all the money transfers and messages. According to her calculations, Vera has taken nearly $23,000 from me over the past year through various emergencies and investments. That's not counting all the regular stuff I paid for, thinking I was being a good boyfriend. I haven't confronted her with everything yet. Right now, I'm letting her think she's still got me fooled while I figure out my next move. Robert deserves to know his wife is a con artist, but I need to be smart about how I handle this. My sister suggested gathering all the evidence first, and she's right. Vera texted me an hour ago asking to meet tomorrow to discuss an exciting new business opportunity. Says she needs another $5,000 for initial investments. The audacity of this woman is unreal. She really thinks I'm that stupid. I've got a plan forming, and believe me, she's going to regret ever thinking she could play me like this. Quick edit. Lori just sent me screenshots of Vera bragging in their group chat about how she's going to get me to pay for a business class next month, which is actually going to be her and Robert's delayed honeymoon to Europe. She even joked about getting both of us to buy her the same bag so she could return one for cash. I'm seeing red right now. Update 2. Hey Reddit. A lot has happened since my last post about Vera, my girlfriend who secretly married another man while using me for money. Thanks for all your support and advice. I promised to update when things developed, and boy have they ever. First, I want to thank everyone who DM'd me with suggestions. You were right, I needed to act decisively, so I did. Remember how Vera laughed about me being too dumb to notice to her friend Lori at that cafe? Well, karma's a bitch. The tables have definitely turned, and I made sure of it. The day after my last post, I got a message from Lori. The guilt was eating at her, and she finally cracked. She sent me everything. Screenshots of conversations where Vera bragged about playing both me and Robert, photos from their secret wedding, and even recordings of Vera planning to drain my savings for their dream house down payment. I spent 3 days planning everything meticulously. Vera still thought I was clueless, still asking me for money for her business venture. I played along, watching her dig herself deeper. She even had the nerve to plan a weekend getaway with me, using the same credit card she used to buy furniture for her and Robert's apartment. Then came Monday. I woke up early, packed all her stuff from our shared apartment into boxes, and left them at her workplace's reception. The receptionist looked confused, but I just said, Vera will understand. I had already spoken to our landlord the week before, showing him proof that Vera had married and moved in with Robert. He agreed to remove her from the lease. But here's where it gets interesting. Remember the joint account she convinced me to open for her business? I withdrew my portion the previous Friday, completely legal, since I had documentation proving those deposits came from my paycheck. When she called me screaming about the money, I simply said, I thought you'd be covered by your husband's income, and hung up. The meltdown was epic. She blew up my phone with 47 messages ranging from threats to begging. I just responded with a photo of her wedding ceremony, and congratulations on your marriage to Robert. When were you planning to tell me? Then she showed up at my apartment. The screaming could probably be heard 3 blocks away. How dare you, she yelled. That money was for our future. I just calmly recorded everything on my phone while she had her meltdown in the hallway. The neighbors definitely got a show. Which future are we talking about, Vera? The one where you're married to Robert, or the one where you're scamming me? She tried to slap me. I caught her wrist before she could. Thank God for those security cameras in the hallway. Assault would be a bad idea, I said. She stormed off, but not before threatening to ruin my life. Here's the best part. I didn't even have to tell Robert. Vera's own friend Lori did it for me. Apparently the guilt got to her. She sent him every screenshot, every recording, everything. Found this out when he reached out to me on Facebook to apologize. Poor guy had no idea I existed. The fallout was beautiful in its simplicity. No dramatic revenge schemes needed, just the truth coming out naturally. Robert immediately moved out of their apartment. Vera's friends started unfriending her on social media. Her carefully crafted image of a successful businesswoman crumbled as people realized she'd been playing everyone. She tried damage control, claiming I was obsessed with her and making up lies, but I had already shared the evidence with their entire friend group. Screenshots don't lie, and neither do wedding photos. The cherry on top, she had been bragging to everyone about her new car, bought with my money. When she couldn't make the payments because I stopped being her personal ATM, it got repossessed right from her workplace parking lot. Karma really does come full circle. I'm not going to lie and say this doesn't hurt. 3 years of my life were invested in a lie, but watching her house of cards collapse has been oddly therapeutic. She wanted to play games? Well, game over. Robert's filing for divorce. I filed in small claims court for the money she scammed from me, but honestly the look on her face when she realized she'd lost control of everything, that was worth more than the money. Last I heard, she's moving back in with her parents. Apparently living on a single income when you're used to scamming 2 guys isn't so easy. Who would have thought? My sister Cora keeps saying I should feel bad about how everything turned out. But you know what? I don't. Vera made her bed. Now she can lie in it alone. Edit, to the people asking if I'm pressing charges. No, the small claims court case is enough. I'm not interested in a drawn-out legal battle. Sometimes the simplest revenge is just letting someone face the natural consequences of their actions. TLDR, my girlfriend, who secretly married another man while using me for money, got exactly what she deserved when the truth came out. No elaborate revenge needed. Just let karma do its thing. Final update. It's been a wild couple of weeks since my last update. First, thank you all for the support. I never expected this story to blow up like it did. Grab a drink, because this finale is something else. Remember how I mentioned setting up that meeting between Robert and Vera at her workplace? Well, shit hit the fan exactly as planned, but even better than I expected. I was having coffee across the street when it happened. Robert stormed into the cafe where Vera worked, waving his phone with the evidence I'd sent him. The whole place went silent. 3 years, he shouted, loud enough that I could hear him through the window. You've been playing me for 3 years. Vera tried to quiet him down, but Robert wasn't having it. Don't you dare tell me to lower my voice. I just found out my wife has been living with another man our entire marriage. The customers were all staring. Some had their phones out recording everything. Vera's manager came out from the back trying to handle the situation. But Robert just showed him the photos on his phone, the ones of Vera and me together, dated after their wedding. But here's where it gets even better. Remember Lori, Vera's best friend? She walked in right in the middle of this. Turns out she'd been feeling guilty ever since I showed her the evidence of what Vera had been doing. When Vera tried to claim I was just some obsessed ex, Lori actually spoke up. Stop lying, Vera, she said, her voice shaking. I helped you pick out that apartment with Ethan. I was there when you were laughing about how you were playing both of them. Vera's face went white. She tried to run to the back room, but her manager blocked her path. Don't even think about it. You're going to deal with this right now. The best part? The entire time this was happening, I'd been transferring all my money out of our joint accounts. Remember those business investments she kept pushing me to make? Well, I'd been playing along, making her think I was still the same naive idiot. But instead of investing in her fake business ventures, I'd been documenting everything. Every text, every email, every transfer. I walked into the cafe just as Vera was trying to explain herself to Robert. The look on her face when she saw me, priceless. Oh, hey, Vera, I said, keeping my voice casual. I think we need to talk about those business investments you wanted me to make. You know, the ones you were using to fund your second life with Robert. Robert's head snapped toward her. What investments? I pulled out my phone and showed him the transfer record. Over $30,000 that Vera had gotten me to invest in various schemes over the past year. Money that had mysteriously disappeared into accounts I now knew were funding their lifestyle. Vera started screaming at me, calling me every name in the book. She tried to grab my phone, but I stepped back, watching her melt down in front of everyone. Her mascara was running down her face as she realized everything was crumbling. You ruined everything, she shrieked. I had it all planned out. Yeah, I replied calmly. You did. Too bad you couldn't help bragging about it to Lori at that cafe last week. You know, when you were laughing about how dumb I was. The next few hours were chaos. Robert called his lawyer right there in the cafe. Vera's manager fired her on the spot. Apparently, she'd been skimming from the register too. Something they'd suspected but couldn't prove. I've already filed in small claims court for the money she scammed from me. But the real karma? Vera's carefully constructed house of cards didn't just fall. It exploded. Everyone knows now. Her family, her friends, her coworkers. The woman who prided herself on maintaining the perfect image is now living in her car because neither Robert nor I will let her come back. All her fancy clothes and expensive bags are in Robert's garage waiting for the divorce settlement. Lori showed me the desperate texts Vera's been sending everyone, trying to explain her side. Nobody's buying it. Even her own mother told her she's disgusted with her. You want to know the craziest part? I don't even feel angry anymore. I feel free. While Vera's life implodes, I'm actually doing better than ever. My sister Cora set me up with her friend from work, and we've been getting coffee. She knows the whole story, and you know what she said? I'm glad you stood up for yourself instead of just walking away. Yeah, maybe I could have been the bigger person and just left quietly. But you know what? Sometimes people need to face consequences. Vera played with fire thinking she was too clever to get burned. Well, guess what? The fire caught up with her. Last I heard, she's trying to crash on friends' couches, but no one will take her in. Robert's divorce attorney is having a field day with the evidence I provided. And me, I'm sleeping just fine. Edit. To those asking if this is real, I wish it wasn't. Trust me, living through this was surreal enough. And no, I won't share the videos from the cafe confrontation. The people who recorded it already took them down out of respect for Robert. Edit 2. Stop sending me DMs asking for Vera's social media. Yes, she deserved what she got, but I'm not here to start a witch hunt.